Hello everyone, this is Elliott Cafe. I am your host, The Cowboy, and welcome to another edition of the chart of the day. And today we're going to take a look at CHEVRON, also known as CVX in here, and we'll try to make sense of the price action. It's some interesting levels and some interesting, looking combinations. And I want you to give a crack at it and see what you can come up with from 1992 in here or so back to 2022. So a pretty, hefty and long price action in here, but it's pretty clean, I would say, and it shouldn't be a very hard count to identify. So stop the video and, have a shot at it and see what you can come up with. These are all just exercise videos, educational videos where we take a look and learn impulses, corrections, and kind of how the market floats, ebbs and flows as well. So if you can look at this, you see a pretty clean impulse, right? I can see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of here for a top, then you correct in 3 waves, you go up in 5 waves, you correct again, and then you finish up. Then you're correcting in 3 waves, and then you start a new move higher. So I think this is a pretty standard. You can count a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and then a wave 5. So you could have a completed sequence in here with a wave 1 top, and then you're pulling back in this decline in here, and now you're starting over. So let's see what my count is, and we'll go from there. Then we'll dive in some of those internals. And here is what I have for you. So this is a wave 1 cycle top, followed by a wave 2, the pullback. On the log scale, it almost towards 50%. If you do this in an arithmetic scale, you will see that you've come towards 61%. Which is a mighty fine level for a second wave pullback. So very good correction in here, pretty deep, I must say, or somewhere into the territory of the 4th wave of the previous degree, right, of a lesser degree in there. And then you're starting a new impulsive sequence from those levels. So let's see what's the next count in here. So this is your 1 in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C down in 2. And you can also count the waves inside here. You can see that C wave, you can see the A wave, you can see the 3 wave in B. So that's totally cool. Then you're looking up here in this, pretty nice impulsive move. I mean, this is the 3rd wave. It's clean. There's no overlaps. You can kind of play inside these legs and find out that maybe this is a wave 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. So again, just an extended wave 1. Followed by a second wave 3, 4, and 5 for a wave 3. Then you pull down in this triangle in a 4th wave in an A, B, C, D, and E. So that's a triangle in there with a long A wave. And then you're pushing higher in this 5th in a 1, 2, 3, some triangle in here, followed by a push higher here for the 5th. So this is a pretty clean move in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, what's interesting is that once you kind of finish this one, you have a 3-wave setback, wave A in here, just a nice an impulse. You go up in B, and then you can do a C. If you want to do a flat, I'm fine too, in an A, B, C for a wave A, up in B here, right? You're going up above 90% of this retracement, so that qualifies even better for the flat. And then you're driving C wave lower. It's not a running flat. It's not an expanded flat. It's a regular flat where B wave does not go above the origin of the wave 1, but C wave comes below wave A. It can stay anywhere, literally. You can be near A wave low, you can be a little bit higher, you can be lower, as long as this B wave does not terminate above the A wave. It's just a regular flat. So you go, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1, then 3-wave setback. Once you finish up a 3-wave setback, usually what you're getting is you're getting a move above these levels in here. So if that doesn't happen, you could go complex, and that's, maybe subject for another video, where you go in an A, B, C. This goes back in here and becomes an X wave instead of making new highs, and then you sell lower, and then you're correcting some more, and this correction becomes bigger. Okay, but in this case, they finished the correction here. They made a new high. It's telling me that there is a new uptrend coming. Now, I don't have a way of counting this as a 4th wave and saying that's a 5th, because I don't have a proper structure here, unless I go in a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and 5. So I would have to compare this 4th wave. Imagine that, right? I would have to compare this 4th wave with this wave 2nd for me to kind of give me a 5-wave structure inside a 3rd wave. And that's something that this is a clown shoe count. It's something that, it doesn't match. There is no proportions between the waves, and it's very, very ugly. So, here we are. I think this is the best interpretation in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the wave 1, A, B, C for the 2. So now we have made new highs, and we want to kind of dive in a little bit and see the internals of these waves. You can see that triangle in here, right? And then here is the wave B, and let's just kind of jump over to the next one. So here is your wave A decline, and here is your longer triangle in an A, B, C, D, and E for a B wave. And we've kind of ran into something like this. If you look back, I think a week ago, I've done a video on oil, and there was a B wave in the oil market that look exactly the same. So down in A, up in B. So if you want to do this in 3 waves, that kind of creates a flat in an A, let's say a triangle in B in here, followed by a C wave, A, B, C for an A, 3 waves down, 3 waves up for this, for this B wave. Actually, not a 3 wave, it's a 5 wave move because it's a triangle. So you can have a triangle in a wave B of a flat. So you go down in A, up in B, up into these levels, and then sharp down in this C wave, right? So this is actually a 5 wave a move because it's a triangle, right? But it's in part of the wave B of a flat, so it's correction. Wave Bs of flats can be pretty much anything they want but impulses. So here is wave A, down in B, up in B, down in C. Then you go and you begin a wave 1 impulse of those lows. So you go here in an impulse in the wave 1. Then you pull back deeply in this wave 2, back into the 618 in here. So that's a wave 2 low. Then the market pushes higher here, and it creates what I think it is. It's another impulse. So you go 1, 2, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for another wave 1. Then you're pulling back in a smaller wave 2 in here. So you get a 1, 2, 1, 2. That leads us to that larger third of a third advance where you're pushing higher. So this is part of this internal. So 1, 2, 1, 2, let's say 3, 4, and 5, right? And that creates this wave 3, somewhere up into these levels towards 201. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Maybe this 4th wave becomes bigger, and up in there like that for a 3rd. And then you still got to do a 4th wave. Maybe it'll be a triangle at this degree that matches this wave 2. And then you push back up higher and you terminate the larger sequence. So this is kind of what I'm seeing in Chevron moving forward. I think, the large part of the move has already been done. And you're going to be looking now at, since this was the meat of the move right in there, you're going to be looking now at smaller moves in Chevron and more choppier moves. It can still trend higher in here, but I think you're getting into maybe some sideways triangles in here, okay? Something like that. So let's just kind of pay attention to this because I think this move already has been very, very strong. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's kind of the sausage, the meat of the move in there. But this is kind of what I see happening. RSI is very, very high on this 2-day chart. Is about 86. Let's see on the daily. It's at about 80, starting to create a little bit of a divergence in here, very small. But I would not necessarily be bearish on this because I think there is still upside to go. But I think we're going to pause here, not long after this move. We're probably going to start to kind of fall apart. So basically, this shows you a scenario where when you already have most of the move done or near completion towards this 1618, is places where you can start taking profits and reducing your exposure. And then, because the market is probably going to send you into who knows, 6 months, maybe to a year of sideways movement in here, right? And if you want to participate onto that, that's fine. If not, and if you are able to kind of, let's say, enjoy a ride from a deep wave pullback here, and if you're long from these levels, or maybe you bought it after this confirmation, after the break of this high, and you said, I'm going long, or maybe you bought it back here on this pullback, right? Then you've done already a pretty good part of the move. You might want to take 50% in here, 75%, and just let the rest ride, just in case this thing goes parabolic and it goes to 300, right? I don't think so, but it is, it is a way to kind of start to identify where you are in the structure and, be able to adjust positioning, right? Maybe there is a different stock that is in a correction. And since this one is done, you move those funds from here, move to a different stock that looks a little bit more like that. And it can, let's say, lead to the next outperformance in there. But again, this is not financial advice. I'm just kind of telling you kind of how I think about the markets, how I think about taking profits, and kind of where we are in sequences. But remember, at the larger trend, you're still maybe trending higher, because if this is a wave 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2 cycle, that's a wave 1 primary in here coming in. Then you're looking for a second wave pullback at some point over the next, let's say, I don't know, 10 years. And then, you're going to have another run here in a larger third wave that's still part of this larger third wave cycle. So maybe this is what's happening in Chevron. Over time, over years and years and years, this thing will pull back and then you'll get the next leg higher. But definitely this was a beautiful correction. I wish I would have seen it. We have enjoyed some long on XLE and some other stocks on the energy since the end of 2020. I've missed a bunch of them, but listen, you can't be in all. But it has been a pretty good setup in here for a long trade. And, now you're kind of starting to approach some heavy levels above due to some FIBS and due to some, let's say, wave internals here that look to try to finish. So still look bullish, maybe another 3 and another 4, another 4 and another 5 to complete maybe a larger wave 1. So I hope this was helpful, guys. Just an 11-minute video here. Go ahead and let me know your comments. What do you think about this correction? What do you think about the structure? If you want to see something else that's interesting, if you're interested in some other type of let's say assets to see, I'm going to try to maybe switch to the S&P 500, switch to some crypto. I have more stocks on my radar that I'm watching and that I kind of keep a close eye on, and then we'll revisit also some of the ones that we've already done. But, we need some more time to pass. Obviously, it's only been 2 weeks since I started this, so there's not a lot of data yet. But maybe in a couple of months, we'll just start to review if some of these things actually happened the way we thought they were going to happen, and if our Elliott wave projections were correct. Because I'm going to save this up. I'm going to put a date on here and just say we looked at this on 3/14. Let me just go in there. So we're going to go 3/14/22, and I'm going to save this up. I'm going to lock it and anchor it, and then this is going to stay there, and then we'll know next time we come and look at this thing that we looked at it back then. So that's all I have for today. Let me know your comments. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video and share it around, and also visit us into the program if you want to learn more about Elliott wave structures and lessons and Elliott wave course and trades on Bitcoin and other assets. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.